Hello and welcome back to Jikoronpa. In the last episode, it was kind of weird in the last episode because a lot happened. Like, a lot happened. Nothing crazy that changed the entire game happened, but I feel like we went through a lot of events, and yes, the suspense music is back. That's why I left off suspense music. I know. But I feel like in the first chapter, each episode would have like one core event would happen. But in the last episode, we hung out with Sasuke and Ikki. We figure out what happened with the elevator if you use it too much in a short time, it breaks down, which definitely won't be related to the trial. I have no idea what you're talking about. Uh, we helped Chiyuki get out of her door. We had 2 free time events. Like, so much happened. I was like, wow, this is why it's progressing quickly. And I think we might already be halfway to the chapter, or at least like nearing the halfway point, because we're nearing the end of the second day. We're on 3 free time events. Like, oh wow, we're getting through this quite quickly. And it gets kind of weird because I know one of my critiques of the first daily life is like, oh, I felt like it was dragging on a bit. But now we're going by so quick, it's like, oh god, did the game hear me? Or maybe there's going to be 10 free-time events and this at 7 weeks of this chapter and we're just only at the start, who knows. But yeah, someone knocked at our door and I'm hoping it's Fuyuka because she has not been in any of the free-time events and I am getting so impatient with her that if she doesn't come out for any of the free-time event, I'm going to wonder if my game is bugged and I can't hang out with her for some reason. But I hope Fuyuka's here. Hello, Fuyuka. I stretched, then went over and opened it. There is a very ominous juxtaposition with Ikki smiling belligerently and the music ongoing at the moment, and I do not like it. And considering that Ikki is working with Sasuke, and I have a bad feeling that Sasuke might be doing something bad towards Ikki, well not like bad, but might be tricking Ikki somehow, it doesn't raise my confidence with a smile of his. Hikari, hello. Hey, did you need something? Can you follow me? Well, Ikki, the last time I followed a strange voice in the middle of the night, we all know what happened, so why should I? Okay, that is really vague. My apologies. Perhaps I should have worded that better to avoid misinterpretation. I'm gonna kill. Oh, I'm gonna kill you. Sorry if it was too vague for your liking. I have a surprise for you and a few others. Would you mind following me so I can show you what I planned? It's stupid to listen to somebody for such a vague request, right? And saying that they've already gathered people could be a lie to make me feel safer about following them. Oh, while you're not, bash me in the head, Ikki. Do it, I'm rooting for you. Like he said, I've always been a fool. You will? Oh, wow, I didn't expect that to work. Oh, wonderful. Just follow me. It's not far to the ash room. And Ikki started heading off, making sure to close my door behind me. I followed them. We eventually arrived at the ash room on the second floor. I mean, considering apparently a whole new floor opened up, and this is the only. Actually, I've just had the realization. Wait. So when we're in free time, there is a button in the bottom left where you can touch to access the areas. And I'm not sure if I pressed it before and the second floor was available, or if I just didn't and I missed. I just have for some reason I just thought I might have been able to access the second floor during free time, but I think I'm wrong. So ignore my gasp of suddenness. I think it was incorrect. What I was going to say is, I wonder if the second floor is just the ash room and I've been duped because this floor has been open all day and the only thing we've seen of it is the ash room. And we saw some sort of nice living room near the elevator. And we also saw that, I guess. To my surprise, Kolette and Chiyuki were waiting for us. They were staring at a canvas full of drawings that looked like Miami and him. Hey, Petals! Did you get lured into your world too? I thought only you could lead mortals into your realm, Kolette. Oh, but you saw their poem this morning, didn't you? You can't tell me the anguish and terror within didn't paralyze you. But my emotional state this morning, I must have struggled focusing on the poems. Oh, right. Sorry, Minty. It's alright. Perhaps I may get to see another intriguing hurrying film written by our dear Ikki in the near future. Unfortunately, not everybody who I requested to come was able to make it, but I should still explain what I had planned. Who else was going to come? I am very concerned that Senesuke isn't here, and I feel like Senesuke might be gathering other people doing this exact same thing, and Ikki is coming up to say something, and depending on what Ikki says to us in the next few minutes, it could change how I view him. I'm scared. I feel like he could be committing murder. I don't know. I don't know if I trust this at all. It also requested Ryusuke and Tsubaki to come as well, considering their friendships with Mayume. However, both of them refused to. Now, Tsubaki refusing is quite interesting, considering she was one of the few people who stayed at the end of the poetry reading today to continue exchanging poems. Why would she refuse to come to this? Either she is acting suspicious, or she has clocked that Ikki is doing something sketchy and she's not coming. She doesn't want to be part of it, which is like, which concerns me for me, Kolette and Chiyuki. Like, are we in danger? I've been trying to talk to him too, but he always tells me to stay away from him. As a demon, I get to the lash, but still. But then again, I don't entirely blame him. Mayumi did use him. Use him? How so? I didn't particularly pay much special attention to their friendship. Ryu, he struggles with trust in people, you know? But he had an instant connection with Mayume. But she used Ryu, Tsubaki, and I for an alibi. She deliberately planned for an argument to interrupt our movie night. She was thinking about committing a murder the entire time. And that broke him. It broke him enough for him to start carrying a weapon around, to use it if others didn't leave him alone. I wonder if anybody else ran into a confrontation with him since last night. I see. That's nicely sprite when he's like slightly smiling. That's nice. I think it's interesting for that to be the one they used, instead of the one where he's actually smiling like Mayume down here. Ikki sighed before turning to the canvas full of ash. Anyhow, the reason I invited you three here was to mourn those who died. None of us had a proper goodbye to them. A long time ago, I had an old friend that I never got to mourn. Never having the time to mourn or accept loss can lead a person to regrettable things. And I believe every person deserves a goodbye. So, I want to give us this time to say goodbye, both for them and for us. I do the two of them here to the best of my ability, and I hope these will be serving their memory. I mean, wow, it's a really good drawing. It's almost like it's it's like from a sprite that they are once had before. That'd be crazy. That's all. That is a wonderful idea, Ikki. I am gracious that another individual views the livelihood of us all the same way I do. I agree. It's really nice for you to do this for us. And for them. Thank you. I hope it assists us all in healing a bit. To begin, let's discuss Mayume. Let's leave the big trauma for the end of the day. Would you like to talk about her, Kolette? It's interesting because I never found Mayume or Kolette to be extremely close. It was more like Kolette was close with Mawin, Mayume was close with Ryu. Ryu wanted to do. Mayume and Ryu just happened to be with Hikari when Kolette and Mawin tried to prank her. And then that's when the idea of a horror movie night came up, and those two just coincidentally were there. And I go, yeah, let's do this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It never felt like Kolette was too close to Mayume. But let's see what she says. I don't mind. It just might be a bit difficult. Do your best. I believe in you, Kolette. Honestly, I don't know how I feel about Mayume. She did a terrible thing, you know? Even a queen of horror and tragedy like me doesn't understand it. But she didn't deserve such a painful end either. She suffered. I only hope her soul rests well. That's it, I guess. I don't want to say anything in case I get too upset about it. I can't forgive her for her murder. I would forgive her. Okay, wait. I don't think we have to go that far. Her motive for such actions, where it was regarding wishing to save the life of a loved one, to do whatever she could for their sake. I feel similar feelings quite often. Okay, should I start take a few steps back? I'm not sure how I should take that, Chiyuki. Okay, can anyone check her for knives, perhaps? So, okay, no, okay. My partner, the wasp, and another dear friend of mine. I would risk my own health and peace for them if it meant their happiness and well-being. Though I cannot imagine committing such a horrible deed, I do understand why she did it. I understand how much inner pain and conflict she may have gone through. A unique perspective from a mortal, I see. And Chiyuki, I don't know if the ones you caused his death. I don't know if the one who caused his death deserved forgiveness. They're responsible for taking a life. Taking his life. And that includes me. Okay. How was your relationship with Daisuke, Hikari? I didn't get to know him properly, so I'd like to hear more about him. You were all kind of right about him being rude and unpredictable. Damn. That's a little cold for a marshal you called a friend. No. I didn't mean like something bad. He was still a little rude at times. I can't deny that, but he wanted to make up for it. When the motive videos were released, I checked on him that night, and he apologized to me. Apologized? Did you forgive him? No, I slapped him in the face and ran off. I didn't. Oh, I kind of forgot we didn't forgive him. Oh, I'm so sorry, Hikari. That must hurt. I agree. A soul being taken away before you were able to make amends with them is a tragic fate. No, it doesn't hurt. Because he understood. He wanted to give me time, and I wanted to give the time for myself to understand. I can never understand why somebody would apologize to me. Why somebody would feel like something is their fault. It's I always feel like that every time everything that goes wrong, it's my fault. He's somehow challenged that point that I've always had. I wish I could thank him for that. I understand now. It usually takes a person a very long time to realize when they've made those kinds of mistakes. It's amazing you could do that. I'm glad I get to understand him a little better now. I want to understand however I can, and give him a goodbye he deserves, even if we didn't know him long. That's the promise I've made to myself. Everyone deserves an honest goodbye. You're right. Hey, Minty. Thanks for talking about how Mayume must have felt. I think I know how I want to say goodbye to her. Kolette stood in front of Ikki's drawings. She closed her eye, put her hands together, and spoke. And for some reason I forgot that she had an iPad, so I was very confused by referring to her eyes in the singular tense. You did something you can't take back, Mayume. Part of me doesn't want to talk about you because of that. But before that, you were a fun mortal. I was delighted by your foreboding wordplay, your magnificent tales of romance and woe, and more. We weren't friends for long, but I choose to remember you that way. May your soul rest in peace, Mayume. I'll make sure of that. Ikki, Chiyuki, and I glanced at one another. Then we all stood next to Kolette and did the same as her. Please rest well, you two. You deserve that much, even if you did regrettable things. And thank you for being a friend of a fool like me, Daisuke. I'll miss you. Uh, After we all slightly mourned them, we resumed talking about miscellaneous things. As the four of us talked amongst ourselves, whether it be about our situation or some random topics, I felt comfortable. As comfortable I could possibly be in a place like this, anyway. In the back of my mind, there was still fear and doubt. Yet, with some in the group so determined to keep everyone safe, I think I started to have a little faith again. Uh, Eventually, I returned to my room. It was late, so I immediately headed to bed without a second thought. For the first time in a while, I was able to fall asleep without my own thoughts screaming back at me. Well, isn't that sweet? That was a nice scene. It wasn't as ominous or terrible as I expected. No one died. Ikki didn't pull out a knife. He didn't even bring up Sasuke at all, so that's a very good sign that it wasn't anything with malicious intent. However, the death flags of Ikki have raised considerably. Although, to be fair, every time there's a scene with anybody, I'm like, oh my god, the death flags, oh my god, oh my god. And at a certain point, he has to be like, Adder, calm down. Just because we see a character in a CG doesn't mean they're going to die. But I do think Ikki being involved with Sasuke's plan, and especially Ikki being more prominent there, does make him more likely to die, in my opinion. But obviously, there's still half the chapter, if not more, left, so there could be a lot more time for character growth, and for me to be like, oh, that's the person that's gonna die. I know I've named every character, but that's the one that's gonna die, trust me.
Wow, you seem quite pleased with yourself tonight. You stopped bottling up your feelings and was able to mourn your corpse of a friend. I'm glad some of you are willing to help each other. The most I can do help is to supply you all with items, give a little information, or do small things to make you safer. Even through these dreams, there's not much I can safely say to you. But why would I want to help? Did you fall for that little showcase of sadness? You really are gullible. I'm surprised you weren't the first victim, honestly.
Okay, so here's the thing. What are these dreams? Are these something that we're meant to think more deeply about? Because I find it interesting in multiple of the dreams so far. Dia not only has reference that they are dreams, but he has reference to Hikari herself. It's not like the Monokuma Theater in the canon games, where it was just a random story, just something stupid that was irrelevant to the overall plot. In this game, Dia is consciously referring to it as a dream and is consciously calling out Hikari and is referring to Hikari right now, thinking that she should have been the first victim. So is this? I'm not sure how it would work though, because I don't want to say it's a virtual world because that's like the obvious option to say considering how many fan games use it and it was in the original game twice. But obviously, I guess I just have to throw it there for the sake of argument because you have to think about it in every game. Is this a virtual world? I hope not because I feel that'd be boring, but who knows? But I'm not sure how else Dia would get into her dreams though. Hmm. I don't know. I guess we don't even know what Dia is. He's a robot, but like, how is he in our dreams then? Because this Dia seems to be the same as the Dia from the one uh controlling it, because this form has this memories of the one in the mansion. Huh.
But you almost were. If you had actually met your end there, then never mind. Good night, Hikari. Sorry in advance what's going to happen soon.
Are we getting the motive? Because if we are getting the motive, that confirms me that we are actually halfway through the chapter. Part of me was like, it's probably going to be 12. We're probably going to like get to day 12 or something if it's going to be this fast. But if it is the motive, then these dreams are starting to creep me out. Oh, so now Hikari is actually consciously aware of the dream, so she is actually experiencing them. So this isn't actually something that it's just, oh yeah, it's a great time. That was the first Dia dream. Oh, yeah, alliteration. Yeah. That is the first D dream I ever decided to actually talk about how weird it was. Well, that's a great coincidence. Thank you, for Hikari, for parrying my arguments completely. But if Hikari's getting creeped out by those dreams, that means she's also experiencing them and she does remember them, so they are canon. Which means, and Hikari's saying, if you died first, I don't know what I would have done. So instead of it being a virtual world or everyone seeing these dreams, maybe Hikari is special. And she's the only one seeing these dreams, and it would be bad for the game if she died. And there's a reason she's doing this. Like, I don't know what it is because I'm not smart enough to figure out from these lack of clues, but these little clues. But there's something going on there. I definitely think Hikari is important than a lot of the characters here, for some reason or another.
As I tried to make sense of my dream, I became aware of the loud noises that had awoken me in the first place. A series of firm, almost rhythmic knocks. I better get up. I dragged myself out of bed. Part of me wanted to sing forever into the covers and never come out again. I wouldn't show anyone that side of me. I stared at the clock above my desk. It's 5 in the morning. Who would want to see me at this hour?
Well, as for advice if you open any doors, shout out who. Wait, the rooms are soundproof, so you can't hear sound. Okay, try and look through the keyhole if you can. If there is a keyhole.
Fuyuka? Maybe? I wouldn't put it past her. She does seem like the type to wake early. She probably does morning exercises or training or something. I opened the door. Like I predicted, Fuyuka was standing there.
Oh my god, hey, I haven't seen you in like 24 hours since the poetry meeting yesterday. How are you doing? Finally. It takes you a long time to get up, doesn't it?
I guess so. I'm nothing like you. I always feel tired.
Right. We'll need to improve on that then. For now, however, I require your assistance.
Huh? You need help? My help?
Yes, I require you to help me search the new rooms, like all of us did last time. The rooms were too busy yesterday to properly investigate, but I can at least confirm nobody took any items out. Early morning may be our only chance to search through each room to a thorough extent.
I think I understand. I won't be too helpful, considering how early it is, but I'll try my best.
I need your best, but I'll take responsibility for any mistakes you may make, understand? Do not worry. You're useless when you worry like that.
Understood. I didn't have it in me to respond or argue. He can do that too. The two of us took the elevator up to the second floor. We stepped into the main room.
So I'm assuming the green door is what the elevator is, or at least leads to the elevator, because I don't know why it has to be weirdly colored.
Hey, why me?
Huh?
Why do you want to investigate? Why do you want me to investigate with you? Out of everyone here, Iggy's more experienced. Chiyuki has an eye for detail. That one's far stronger. I don't understand. Wouldn't they be more helpful?
Well, you see, Hikari, come here. I have an eye for you. I told you that you can depend on me. I meant it. You can do anything on your own with any information you find. Your traits make any malevolent actions unlikely. So you'll bring any detail you find or information you gain to my attention, won't you? I have faith in you. You're too much of a chicken to say anything against my back.
You trust me like that?
Trust me, Biel. Trust is a nice word for how I feel about you.
For somebody as selfish as her to believe in me, it seems unreal.
Yes, and you can trust me in return. Well, if Fuyuka wasn't one of my favorite characters, I would think of that being a little sketchy and manipulative. But you know what? Since I like her, I'm going to ignore it.
Let's start searching these rooms then.
Good. The room I'm most curious about is the storage room. Have you been in there yet?
No. Yes.
All right. A fresh set of eyes will help. When we investigate, you will be the one pointing to what stands out. I, for one, may notice much more than the usual person might, such as the potential use of a particular item for murder. However, a typical person like you yourself may have less ability in that regard. It allows me to hypothesize and predict what items may be used in a murder. For example, let's say a screwdriver. What comes to mind with that? Well, considering that you literally were just talking about murder, my mind instantly went to murdering someone with a screwdriver, like stabbing them, or for some reason the second thought that came to mind was gouging their eyes out or stabbing their eyes. I don't know why that came to mind, or pushing it through their ears. That would also be disgusting and work. But if you just said it randomly on a random day with no context whatsoever, what did I think about a screwdriver? I would probably think unscrewing vents or batteries on remotes and stuff like that.
I don't theorize about potential murders, but if I have to, I guess somebody can use it to fix something. I'm not sure.
That's one possibility, yes. However, the tool can also be used to do the exact opposite. You can force yourself into a locked room, or tamper with a light switch, and lure your victim to touch the exposed wires, or... Uh, sorry. I forget that not everybody is enthused by these topics.
Enthused? How can you possibly be happy with this? The dates of her!
Not a real situation, obviously. Don't be a fool. I meant in fiction. I mean, yeah, it was quite obvious she was talking about hypothetical scenarios, Harry. Come on, don't be that rude. I don't often like to talk about myself much, but I suppose that this isn't the worst fact for you to know. As a child, I loved fictional mysteries, or more specifically, those which involved creative methods and murders.
That makes sense. I guess it was kind of dumb of me to assume you somehow felt sadistic about our suffering.
Don't make such reckless assumptions again. Anyways, let's begin investigation. Remember, point out what stands out to you only. We can continue after you think you can't see anything else noteworthy. And don't question why there was a colon in my text. That feels quite strange. I feel like that's when I put on a list, not when I'm speaking out loud. But you know what? Don't even think about it.
Right, got it. I mean, what do I know? I'm the one playing the game, not the writer.
Scissors, knives, medicine, ropes, crowbars. Is that that's what's down here? Oh, okay. Well, let's see. Spear.
What should I investigate?
Oh, the spears are down here in the bottom left. I see. Well, how long have I been recording for? Oh, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Let's see. Well, let's go top to bottom. Spears.
There are some spears in the box near the front of the shelves. These look really sharp.
Yes, Hikari. They are spears.
No, actually, I've never seen a spear before. Well, not besides the one that hit, yeah.
Oh, right. The average person doesn't see weapons like this often.
What kind of life do you have back at home?
Well, bodyguard. Hikari, is that not self-explanatory? One you don't want to know about. If I told you anything about it, you'd freak out. You'd be unable to speak for days straight.
I won't ask then.
Anyways, the spears are sharp, but they're quite heavy. If anybody wanted to use one, they'd have to kill the victim here. They're also similar to the spear that hit Daisuke. Like you said, it's possible one of these spears even hit him. I mean, I guess so, but why would they bother washing it if they have so many already? I guess they could have washed it and put it back, but that's just like a waste. And also, the air was prepared The way that the scene happened in the prologue, Dia was prepared with the spear to shoot at any moment. But these are in the box. So and Dia was surprised I could write a poem. So Dia would have to take one of these in preparation beforehand. But I feel like I don't know, I don't think that works.
I'm supposed to be his.
Exactly. Never mind. Let's move on.
What should I investigate? I shells. What first caught my attention as I stared at the highest shells were
Medication? Yeah.
bottles of something with large red X's drawn on them. These bottles of poison or something?
Unfortunately, yes. They're not very subtle either. I'm not sure what type of chemical they are, and I wouldn't exactly like to test that. All I know is that they don't have a deadly effect on a person just by smelling them. As for temporary effects such as dizziness, I'm not sure yet. So you smell them. That is a very risky move for Fuyuka, I will admit. Though I guess if you don't have any labels on them, it would kind of be bad for it to not be the like drinking that kills them, because then the would-be killer could actually kill themselves if they didn't know how to. Yeah, okay, it's fine. I forgive you. I think I get it.
You smell them!
Yes, I couldn't risk tasting them, unfortunately, but at least I was able to confirm that much.
You scare the ever-living hell out of me.
How so?
You really don't have a sense of danger.
I do. It's just triggered by different things.
Right. Besides that, I see some rope and some tools. Way more tools than just the toolbox in the backstage area. But, thankfully, no hammers.
At least blunt force trauma is usually instant. The weapons here are sharp. The victims will likely bleed out in a few minutes rather than die instantly. Maybe I should test the rope though. Does it have enough durability to crush somebody's neck and make them unable to breathe?
Wow, really no sense of danger there. No shells.
I hope that they point out the crowbars behind this box, because Fuyuka said that all the other weapons here are sharp, but not in this case. Also, is this a blanket or a pillow down in the bottom right? Because you could use that to use that to kill. Like, I'm forgetting the one sec. Okay, I am back. It is not smuffer. It is smother. I was trying. I was like, I couldn't do the word, but you could use those pillows to potentially smother someone. And crowbars aren't sharp. I think I said it, but I'm saying it again for the sake of brevity. Well, not brevity, but the sake of completeness.
Notice the closed boxes laid on the ground and opened several of them.
Ooh.
I wasn't concerned after opening one, or even two of them, but after opening them, it's string, arrows, electrical cords, liners. Do you really? Thought of everything, aren't they? Aren't these kinds of things meant for traps?
They have. I'm curious as to what potential traps our killers here will make. Will somebody make an arrow shoot off from someone when the string is triggered? Will they use the buckets to distract their target somehow, or pour a deadly chemical on their victim? Or will they make an elaborate mechanism that's triggered by something only they know of, making them completely uncatchable? I really doubt somebody here is smart enough to make something like that. Still, we should keep our minds open to the possibility.
Fine.
Boxes! You've already investigated. Oh! You know what? It kind of confused me why we investigated the boxes when I pressed low shells, but that means brain is now working. Okay, now let's check the low shells. Okay.
The lower shelves were filled with rows and rows of miscellaneous objects. I poked some of them out of instinct, but the sharpness of a screwdriver pushed me back.
Where is this? Oh, they're not knives, they're screwdrivers. Okay.
Oh, dang it!
Well, why did you touch it?
I get the scissors and the knives. I really do. But why did you have to make these screwdrivers so sharp?
Screwdrivers and crowbars like that are incredibly inefficient. They're meant to be steady tools, but such sharp ends can break off easily. I'm thankful we have the toolbox back in the backstage area, but it's still a problem. Let's hope Dia is capable of being a handyman as well.
Really isn't that the point I was making?
What should I investigate? Blankets, okay, so they're not pillows.
I knelt down next to some blankets hidden in the corner of a shelf. They were extremely soft, like the feeling of an animal's fur. This looks like the one thing here that can't be used as a weapon.
Well, like I said, you could smother someone with it. I could say otherwise, but I won't.
Thank you. I wouldn't want to know what kind of murder plans include a soft blanket. Fuyuka's creativity scares me sometimes. What should I investigate?
Ladder.
I looked at the ladder, hidden in between some shelves.
Oh, are there multiple shelves? Are we only seeing? I guess the actual room might have more shelves, so we're just seeing this one because this is the only important area, I guess.
Some shelves go up pretty high. I don't know whether a ladder is a blessing or a curse. On one hand, ladders are generally useful, but when the items are dangerous objects or lethal weapons, maybe we should sabotage the ladder to make sure it's not used at all.
Oh, really? I didn't think of that. It should be easy enough. Let me think.
No. Wait. Really? It would count as damaging something of Diaz. I don't know if accidents count, but if it's purposeful, you can get punished. I don't want that to happen to you, Fuyuka.
I see.
I looked around the room, but none else seemed notable.
Honestly, I kind of forgot about the rule, so if I was in this situation and Hikari didn't take back what she said, I would have died. Wonderful.
I think that might be it.
With the number of dangerous supplies in that room, it's a good idea to keep track of what stays and goes. While you were searching the room, I estimated the quantity of each item stored here. I will make a list of each item, its current amount, and its location. This will be updated every morning, noon, and evening. Oh, thank you. That makes it way easier than me trying to remember this entire background. Thank you, Fuyuka.
That sounds like a lot of work. Are you sure you want to do all of that?
I am sure. If something happened, it'd be useful to pinpoint what items were used and when they were taken. If we're lucky enough, we might be able to draw some conclusions from that information.
She must be talking about another murder. I don't want to think about it, but I can't deny that it's possible. I understand. Thank you for all you do for our group, Fuyuka. I appreciate the care you put into these things. It inspires me, in a way.
It's not in. Let's move on.
Without another word, Fuyuka took my hand and led me away. Before I knew it, we ended up in the art room.
Well, just when I thought we were gonna get to see the whole room, where the art room takes me back.
I will. What should I investigate?
Closet.
I opened the door in the art room. It looked to be a large closet. It seemed to have extra canvases, containers of paint, lots of drawers, and even more. Lots of random supplies in here. It's odd. He assures a lot of random storage areas and closets. If this were a real mansion, it'd be pretty appealing for all the storage space.
It is a real mansion, though?
I meant like a mansion to live normally, not this.
Well, people lived in here normally at some point. The messes here, the random objects scattered about, and even more point to that. It makes me think that the previous owners possibly weren't involved in this whole process. They might have been kidnapped, their property stolen. If they were, why is everything not in place? Why wouldn't they clean the items, even for the sake of us? Why make sure no dust is left, but still keep miscellaneous objects here? It's almost as if Dia is taunting us about the fate of those who lived here.
Do you think something bad happened to them?
No, I'm sure they're living a very cheery life in the I can't say for sure, but I believe so. Unless maybe Dia just has a grudge against teenagers, and whoever was here they kidnapped but brought them to a luxury resort. Maybe, I don't know. Why aren't we at a luxury resort? Dia, how come the Danganronpa 2 casket that we had? I just want to relax. Whatever happened, it doesn't matter now. Let's resume.
Okay.
Did I investigate the shelf? No, I didn't.
As I looked at the shelf, I was reminded of some arts and crafts project I did as a kid. A bunch of white papers. There's no colored ones. That's a bit disappointing. What if I want to make a flower arts and crafts project? But as for the paint, so many colors. This would be perfect for a nature painting. Just imagine how many different flowers I could paint.
You're a little bit of a nerd, aren't you? A little nerd. Oh.
Of course I am. Flowers are beautiful, wonderful. Nothing can top them. Flowers are the greatest thing in existence.
Maybe a little bit more than a nerd. It sounds like a bit of an obsession almost.
What should I investigate? Black canvases.
Like a chalkboard?
I stared at the easels.
Did I say black or blank? Because I feel like blank canvases makes a lot more sense than black canvases. Well, it says blank right here, so I guess that answers my question.
I stared at the easels, holding up some blank canvases. The canvases were half my height, or perhaps even taller. I wonder if anybody will use these a lot. I know Ikki used them a bit. I don't know if any of us are serious enough to use the entire canvas.
Art, huh? I haven't done it in a while, but I'm hardly skilled. I can only draw women.
Wait. 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 You can only. What?
I painted before. I only painted women, or feminine people. It just reminded me of that. I've hardly drawn men. Honestly, I do the exact same thing. Whenever I draw, it's usually just feminine people. Oh God. If I were to draw any men, they'd look incredibly feminine.
It struggles, I presume.
Artist struggles.
Should I investigate?
Counters. Okay, I will walk right past that topic then.
Bunch of stains, cups, paintbrushes laying about. The presence of a sink doesn't help with the mess that's already there. More proof of people living here. A messy counter. Maybe some kids used it before. Or somebody really serious about art. But Dia couldn't even have the decency to clean it.
Don't assume they're decent to any extent at all.
Right.
Oh yeah, that did say blank canvases. I don't know why I read that as black. Whiteboard.
A blank whiteboard. Unlike the one in the technology room. I guess it's nothing important for them to say here.
Something I assume they'd write here is, don't draw bad, or I'll punish you. Most of us would immediately be met with a cruel death.
Are you saying you expect me to draw badly?
Yes.
How blunt. Anyways, I looked around the room, but nothing else seemed notable. I think that might be it.
I see. I have a question for you, actually. I heard about a daily poetry mission in Paston, I believe. I wasn't able to learn many details, but I'd like to know more. Do you know anything about it? Oh, actually, I do. Fuyuka, do you want to come? Honestly, if you come, all my favorite characters are there, so I'm not going to complain.
Wow, you're part of it. A few others are too. I know you might think it's wasteful, but I wanted to have something to clear my mind every morning, you know? I had to write poetry then sulking away.
I don't see a point in such meetings, but you managed to find a different perception. It's admirable.
So thank you.
God, I have to check if she said perspective instead of perception, because that's going to bother me if I don't. Yeah, she did say perspective. Perspective.
I did not expect a compliment like that from Fuyuka, of all people. Oh, wait. I, forgot to write a poem for today's mission. Be right back. I ran to the corner of the ash room, grabbing a nearby pen and paper to get to work.
And with that, we're going to end the episode. I was originally going to wait till we got to the next room to end it, but considering that Hikari is going to be like, sorry, Fuyuka, I'm ditching you for 5 minutes to write a poem, I guess I have no choice but to end the episode here. I will say it does worry me that we're investigating the entire flow with Fuyuka, but I am sticking to my guns. We haven't had any free time opportunities with her. She's a prominent character in the first chapter. She's still going to be a prominent one here. I still think she's making it far into the game. I don't care what anyone tells me. She's making it far, and she has to make it far. Unless I will cry. But yeah, it is progressing quite quickly. I'm glad we actually finally investigated the rooms. I thought for some reason we just weren't going to do that. I don't know why we didn't do it yesterday, but it's fine. And something terrible has been happening today, which I fear might be the motive. So in the next video, we might even figure out what the motive for this chapter is going to be, which is terrifying. But yeah, in the next episode, we'll see Hikari's third poem in the series. And nothing else for me to say, so bye-bye.